the students. So through this session we are going to start our 8th chapter, A Pact with the Sun. A story of a girl and her mother. Actually the girl Sayyida, she is the main character of the story, and how he suffered and how her mother suffered due to her illness. So the story is all about. Apart from that, there is a kind of pact, a deal with the sun, with the sun rays. So what deal was that? You will come to know after reading this story. So let's start the story. Sayyida's mother had been ailing. Ailing means she was ill. She was having some disease. Sayyida's mother had been ailing for a long time. She was not well for a long time. Fever, cough, body ache, painful joints and whatnot, and almost every kind of disease she was facing. She was having cough, cold, joint pains, everything. So totally she was on a bed. Treated by a variety of physicians for weeks, she often showed signs of improvement but soon relapsed into her old sick self, one complaint substituted by another. So actually they had confirmed, many of the physicians, many of the doctors, but there was no use of them. One after another there used to be diseases in her body. They are occurring continuously and she is not able to find herself in a comfortable zone. Though weak and colorless, she was forbidden normal food and was under strict orders to remain perpetually confined to her small dingy room with doors and windows fastened, deprived of sunshine and fresh air. So because she was having that much illness, so what the physician has suggested to her, that she should not live on the normal food. She should forget that food. Apart from that, she has to continue stay in a small room only, and the doors and the windows of that room should be fastened, should be closed, and she should not go out for taking any fresh air or sunshine. So these are the prescriptions given by the physicians to her. Although these all things are very necessary in life, but the physicians of her, they had advised her not to do such normal things what everyone wants actually. When she became critical, her relatives and neighbors persuaded her to consult a specialist even though his fees was likely to be high. So she was not feeling well. Continuously after having that much medicine, after taking every of the precautions, she was not feeling well. So her relatives and neighbors are there who just advised her that she should go to some other doctor, and the precautions given by the physicians, they are not working on her. Life is more precious than money, and yes, the other doctor is there who was having a high fee, but yes, life is precious than money, so she should not be worried about that. They said Sayyida's mother was poor, but she needed their advice and sold a few thinkers to pay the doctor's fees and the cost of medicine. So although she was not that much rich lady actually, but after taking that much advice and after just judging her own condition, she got agree on that okay, we'll arrange some money from anywhere and then we'll go for the treatment. The doctor came in a few days and examined her and prescribed effective but costly medicine. So after the physicians, another doctor came, and then what happened? They had given the medicines as usual. To the question as to what she should eat, he said, anything you wish to eat. Then as usual, as the physicians was giving the prescriptions about eating, about going out, about staying at the room, so he asked the same to the doctors. But the doctors, what did they say? They said that she should eat anything, whatever she wants, exactly opposite of the physicians had given the advice. Chapatis, vegetables, milk, fruits, etc. In addition to all this, he added emphatically, leave this dark hovel and occupy a bigger room with doors and windows open. And apart from the food, what did the doctor prescribe? That he should not just confine herself in such a small room. He should go out. He should just see the outer view, and he should live in a room where the doors and windows should be totally open. It should be airy. Sit in the sun every morning from 8 to 9. And then he said that in the morning from 8 o'clock to 9 o'clock, he should continuously take the sun bath. He should sit in the sun. Sunshine and fresh air, he concluded, and more important than medicine. And then he said that sunshine is more important than medicine. We should just take all these natural things. The doctor and his advice became a subject of noisy commentary among his all present. Some favored while others opposed it. So as others, the neighbors and the relatives, they had listened that, so they were totally shocked that we were going with the treatment for a long time, and all physicians are saying that he should be confined in her own room only. He should not eat the normal food. He should not go out. But the doctor is totally saying opposite of that. So they all were talking. They started commentary. Noisy commentary means they started talking to each other. And then some were favoring the doctor, some were saying that the doctor is right, and some were just opposing. Some were believing the physicians. Exposure to sun and air for some afflicted with the chronic cough was dangerous. What is a chronic cough? Which is for a long time anyone is having. That is called a chronic cough. So some are saying exposure to the sun and some afflicted with chronic cough was dangerous. So she is having chronic cough, she should not go into the sun. An experienced lady declared, an old lady, an experienced lady was there in the room, so she declared that. A younger neighbor nearly quarreled with her over this. Too exhausted to participate in the debate, Sayyida's mother remained quiet but determined to follow the doctor's advice. So there are there those who were taking the side of doctor. So a kind of debate is going on between the people. But yes, Sayyida mother was somewhere just confirmed about her that he has spent that much fee also on this doctor, and whatever the doctor will advise, she has to follow that. Then further what happened? Forgot the consequences. She said at last, I will carry out his instructions to the letter, move my bed into the next room and let me sit in the sun on my charpai. Charpai, you understand, a kind of bed made up of wood and some other material, canes and all. So that is called a charpai. So he said, okay, she said, whatever fees I had given to the doctor, I will follow the instruction of that doctor, and whatever advice will be there from the doctor's side, I will follow that strictly now. It so happened that the sky remained overcast next morning. So from the next morning only, he had to follow the instructions. But what happened? He had to sit in the sun rays. But the sky was overcast, means it was full of clouds. So from where she should take the sun rays? It was clouds everywhere in the sky. The same was the case the following day. The next day also the same happened. There was no sun and totally clouds are there. So further what happens? Sayyida's mother was dejected. Means she was getting irritated now, and she muttered. Muttered means when we speak something into our mouth only. So she muttered, oh Lord of mine, why have you ordered the sun to remain hidden? So now the hope was only God, and she said that God, why your son is hidden now when I need this at this time? How will I ever be cured? And if it will be like that only, how will I be cured? How will I feel well? Okay. Sayyida was playing with her doll nearby and she heard her mother's lament. What are laments? When we pray something, okay, badly, when we cry in front of Lord and we pray something, that is called lamentation. So Sayyida, a small girl, she was also playing nearby and she was listening the laments of her mother. Further, what happened? But she kept calm. Later in the afternoon, when she stumbled on a spot of pale sunshine in the courtyard, she ran to her mother to say the sun was there. So that was afternoon time, and a very light sun is coming down. A light kind of sun rays were coming out of the clouds. So you know, whenever clouds used to be there, so the sun rays, it comes with a low heat. They don't used to be so sharp as the usual. So the same happened. So Sayyida ran faster when she saw those light rays of sun, and then she asked her mother that there is sun rays outside, you miss it out. No, no, said everybody present, it's too late and chilly, your mother can't sit out there. Disheartened, Sayyida returned to her doll. There was no sun really, except for its last remnant entangled in the top branches of the family mango tree. And then all those who were present there in the room that time, the relatives, they denied that no, it's already chill outside, there's a winter season going on, so she can't sit out, and there is no sun. So Sayyida went back, and when she noticed that really there was no heat of sun, so there was no use, and then she continued playing. Now children have at their own command a secret language. So yes, it happens that children, they used to have their secret language. Secret language means whatever children wish, the God has listened them if they wish by heart. So yes, we used to say that children are just a part of God only. It's a reflection of God. So the same thing they are talking here, that they have this secret language, foreign to grown-ups altogether, in which they fluently communicate with trees, flowers, animals. So many of the children, even you are also, some time when we used to be children, we used to talk with everything, with flowers also, with everything, animals, insects. Okay, so the same thing was here with the Sayyida, and the sun and the moon, perhaps even with the Almighty. So like that only, when she was feeling bad for her mother, she started talking with Almighty, with God, using that special ray of the sun. Dearest sister, so she saw a ray of sun, it is coming down to the earth, and then she started talking to that ray. What did she said to the ray? Dearest sister, she called the ray sister, do come tomorrow with lots of warmth and brightness. You see, my mother is ill and needs your help. And then she asked the help of the sun rays. She said that my mother is not well and I need your favor. Please do come tomorrow with your all force, with your all brightness. Surely, answered the light, don't look unhappy, we'll be there at the fixed hour. And the ray, the sun ray, she replied to the girl. She said she surely will come. Next day early in the morning, when the sprightly sun rays embellished themselves for the journey down to earth, the sun said, it's our day off again. We are staying up here. The road of earth is blocked by an army of thick mucky clouds. The little rays so much wanted to go down for a dark, but they remained quiet. So as the rays were about to come to the earth next day, that time only the sun stopped the rays. And what did the sun say? He said that it's our off day again. We are not going to the earth. Why? Because there are some thick and mucky cloud in the way. They will not allow you to go down. So just stay here. No need to go to the earth. But the little rays, they were so keen. They were almost decided to go down. So, but that time they remained quiet. One of them, though, who had made a pact with little Sayyida. Pact with means who had made the deal with Sayyida. Sir, that ray said, Sir, I can't stay back. I have given my word to Sayyida, whose mother is ill and needs our help. I will pierce through the clouds to reach Sayyida's courtyard. How else will her mother be cured? Then she explained everything to the sun. And then the ray said that I have already a pact with the girl. I have already a deal with the girl. I will have to reach there to her courtyard so that her mother could be cured. Hearing this, all the rays nearly staggered to revolt against their father, the sun. So who was the father of the rays? The sun. And they all have revolted against the father, that no, we all will go down. Fancy staying back again, they said in a single voice, what will the people of the earth say about us, that we of the heavens have turned liars? So what was the reason they were giving behind their revolt? That we have already made a deal with some human on the earth. And what will they think about us? That we all are liars. We are not keeping our promise. So no, that we will not let be happen, and we'll have to reach there on the earth. The sun relented. Please yourself, he said. Mind your claws, though the clouds are mucky. But the sun was stopping them again and again. Never mind our clothes, we are always changed, but go we must. And the rays rushed towards the earth. The clouds stood guard between them and Sayyida's courtyard. The little rays focused their heat, and they had enough of it. But that those rays had kept their promise. Without listening to the sun, they just pierced down through the clouds, and they went down to the earth. And as they reached there to the courtyards of Sayyida, there was brightness all around, there is heat all around, what the Sayyida's mother needed. So on the battlation of clouds which had to flee from its pose, the rays go through, shooting past the bewildered cloud. They were already late. And before the clouds, as the clouds were about to cover them, the rays were on the earth. Before the clouds, they had made their speed like that only. And then like this, they kept their promise. And then you know what happened? As the sun rays reached there, Sayyida's mother just sat in that sun rays. She got heat from them, and she started recovering. So it was all about this chapter, A Pact with the Sun. Although last paragraph was there, but I am not covering it because some kind of direct narration is there only, nothing else. But yes, the main portion of the story I had covered through this video. So I am ending this video here only. Thank you.